So here's our audience. We've got Sally, Hyla, Arlene, Maggie, and Erica. Did you know that for all the pollinators we have, they are responsible for every 1 out of 3 bites that you eat? According to the USDA, pollinators are responsible for 75% of the world's flowers and 35% of our agricultural crops. Pollinators are so important that it's important that we protect them, as they're vital for our agricultural and ecosystems. I'm going to talk about 5 key characteristics: the definition of pollination, the benefits of pollinators, pollinators native to Iowa, as well as the threats they face and how we can help. So the definition of pollination, according to Britannica Encyclopedia, is the bee, for example, will approach the flower, the pollen from the stamen will rub on the bee, and the bee will carry this pollen to a new flower where the pistil will receive the pollen. So now that we've covered pollination, we'll talk about the benefits of pollinators. There are more than just bees. There are butterflies, bats, and birds, and they pollinate crops as diverse as apples, strawberries, blueberries, melons, coffee, almonds, vanilla, chocolate, peaches, and potatoes. So we rely on them for a lot. There are also 35,000 native bee species in the entire world. So now that we've covered the benefits to humankind of pollinators, I'm going to talk about some pollinators that are native to Iowa. You might recognize some of these. So first I'll talk about the Iowa DNR. Mentions that there are 110 species of butterflies, 2,000 species of moths, and 400 to 500 species of native bees. So that's what resides in Iowa. So this is the rusty patch bumblebee. It's endangered throughout the US, and the Prairie Rivers of Iowa, RC&D, put this list together. So these 5 species all face threats, especially habitat loss. So that's the majority reason why they're endangered. But this rusty patch bumblebee is endangered throughout the US. This is the American bumblebee, and it's threatened in Iowa. This you might recognize is the monarch butterfly. It's a species of great conservation need in Iowa, and it relies on milkweeds, which are in the picture, as a host plant. So it will lay its eggs on this plant. The eggs will hatch, and the larvae will eat this specific plant. The same thing with the regal fritillary. It's endangered in Iowa, and it depends on violets for its host plant. And the zebra swallowtail is endangered in Iowa, and it relies on pawpaw trees for its host plant. So now that we've covered native pollinators in Iowa, we can talk about the threats that pollinators face. And we've already mentioned one, which is habitat loss. There's also climate change, misuse of pesticides, parasites and pathogens, as well as invasive species that can take over a habitat and push out the native species. So now that we've covered threats they face, we come to the fun part, which is how you can help. I'm going to give a handout at the end of my speech, which is how to plant flowers that pollinators like here in Iowa. And this information was provided by the Xerxes Society. So you can plant flowers, you can provide shelter and egg-laying sites, you can avoid pesticides, and you can share with everyone what you learned today. So now that we've looked at the definition of pollination, the benefits to humankind, the pollinators native to Iowa, the threats they face, and how we can help, I hope you enjoyed this speech learning about the importance of pollinators, knowing that they are vital to our ecosystem and agriculture, and it's important to protect them. Thank you.